This might be one of the best photographer's retrospectives ever made, ever printed. It's called Surfaces Depth, Thomas Ruff. Ruff is probably my favorite photographer or visual artist for a variety of reasons, and this book comprises pretty much all or a large fraction of his work. What makes this book so great is the fact that it's done very smartly. The first thing you notice when you look at this book is, and this is very something that you can sort of see here, it's printed on very cheap newsprint paper. Of course that would be just a little gimmick. There's a bunch of text here. But as it turns out, it's a very convincing way to make a great book. So this book presents different series that Ruff did. Time. This is the Cassini series. These are all images produced in outer space by a satellite flying by Saturn called Cassini. You can see here the telltale newspaper markings. Now if you've seen these pictures in a gallery setting, you know they're huge and they're printed on the most expensive paper, hanging in a most expensive frame. But they just work amazingly well on newsprint and in this way, which only proves that if you have a great picture, it'll work anywhere. It really is not a perfect way to produce a photo book, I suppose, but just as a book it works great. Okay, so there's Cassini. Moving on to night. Images produced after the first Gulf War, when these kinds of nighttime images were used to depict the war. Ruff went out with a camera like that and made his own night images somewhere in Germany. So there's a lot of text always along with these images. Okay, then it keeps going on. So there's the night images. Just going to move on a little more quickly so you see what else is in here. Night images, little night images. And there are these cycles or cycle. I don't know, that must be a typo, whatever that is. These computer generated images, which I don't find so terribly interesting, but that's okay. There's the Herzog et de Meuron photographs, architectural photographs. Let's keep moving. These are the other portraits, combinations of portraits in camera, done in the early 90s, so that was before Photoshop. Superimposing two people in camera, creating these fake portraits. Of course, Ruff is well known for the actual portraits that he also did, which are probably also somewhere in the book. But before we get to that, here are stereo photographs. You need a stereo viewer to see them, but they were made to look like you were a giant. So this is what you would see if you had a stereo viewer when if your eyes were set apart by who knows how many meters, you were a giant looking at these places. Stars, these are produced from plates that Ruff bought or got access to. So it's a lot of different stuff, as you can see, working with images. Here's houses. Very German look, I suppose. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I'm trying to show you as much as possible. These are the large portraits, the portraits that Ruff is well known for. So it really is an overview of this artist's work. Okay. This is some of the earliest work, interiors, shot in the late 1970s. It's not so well known, I think. Okay, moving forward. Again, there's a lot of interiors. There is a lot of interiors. Okay. These are beautiful. I wanted to show you. So here are newspaper photographs. Literally photographs that Ruff took out of newspapers and enlarged. Now reprinted, of course, on newsprint. There's a bunch more. A newspaper photograph of a Richter painting, which was painted after a photograph. It can't get any more meta than that. And I think that might be the last series in the book. Is this the last series in the book? It is the last series in the book. So this is Surface's Depth, which came out in, I'm going to say 2010, 2009, 2010, something like that. It's a beautiful overview of this artist's work with a lot of very smart text. If you're curious in what Thomas Ruff is all about, this is the book to get.